Chapter 4, Mishnah 2. In the previous Mishnah, Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel disagreed about whether an egg laid on Yom Tov may be eaten that day. The first part of this Mishnah teaches that their dispute applies only to an egg and not to similar things. But if an animal was born on a Yom Tov that fell on a Sunday, all agree that it is permitted to be eaten that day. Even Beis Hillel, who prohibit a newly laid egg, permit a newly born animal. This is because the egg was prepared the day before it was born on Shabbos, whereas the animal was not. Therefore, if Yom Tov falls on a Sunday, the newly born animal may be eaten that day since it was not prepared for Yom Tov on Shabbos. And if a chick hatched from an egg on Yom Tov, all agree that it is prohibited to be eaten. Even Beis Shammai, who permit a newly laid egg, prohibit a newly hatched chick. This is because a newly hatched chick is considered a creeping creature, which the Torah forbids for consumption. The Mishnah continues listing the disputes in which Beis Shammai rule more leniently than Beis Hillel. The next dispute, which also appears in Beitza 1:1, involves the mitzvah of kisui hadam, covering the blood. The Torah states that after one slaughters a non-domestic animal, e.g. a deer, or bird, one must cover its blood with earth, sand, or a similar substance. See Chulin 6:7. Therefore, if one wishes to slaughter such an animal or bird on Yom Tov for meat, he must be able to cover its blood. Preparing earth on Yom Tov and using it for this mitzvah can involve the malachas of plowing, digging up earth from the ground, and grinding, crumbling clods of earth to make them loose and fit to spread, as well as the rabbinic prohibition of moving muksa, if the earth was not prepared before Yom Tov. The Tanaim discuss how this mitzvah may be done on Yom Tov. If someone wants to slaughter a non-domestic animal or bird on Yom Tov, but does not have earth prepared to cover the blood, Beis Shammai say he may slaughter the animal, dig up earth with a shovel, and use it to cover the blood. However, this is permitted only if the earth is loose and the shovel was inserted into it before Yom Tov. Since the earth is loose, removing it from the ground does not create a permanent hole. So this is not considered plowing according to biblical law. And since the shovel was already in the ground, it is not plowing even according to rabbinic law. The fact that the earth is loose also eliminates the problem of grinding, because there is no need to grind loose earth. Finally, the earth is not muksa because the insertion of the shovel into the ground before Yom Tov prepared it. But Beis Hillel say he may not slaughter the animal unless he has earth completely prepared from the previous day. It does not suffice to have loose earth into which the shovel is inserted, because clods of earth that require grinding might still come up. Rather, the earth must be completely prepared beforehand, dug up, crumbled, and designated. However, Beis Hillel agree that if he broke the law and slaughtered an animal on Yom Tov without having prepared earth, he may dig up earth with a shovel and use it to cover the blood. That is, he may use soft earth into which a shovel has already been inserted before Yom Tov, as Beis Shammai rule in the case of one who wants to slaughter an animal in the first place. The Mishnah cites a case in which Beis Hillel agree that a person may slaughter a non-domestic animal or bird in the first place, even if he does not have earth prepared from before Yom Tov. If ashes, which like earth and sand may also be used for covering blood, were left in a stove before Yom Tov, a person may slaughter a non-domestic animal or bird on Yom Tov and use the ashes to cover the blood, because the ashes of a stove are considered prepared. That is, the owner of the ashes had in mind before Yom Tov to use the ashes for whatever he needs on Yom Tov. Therefore, they are not muksa, and may be used to cover the blood even though they were not set aside specifically for that purpose.